This is Ryan from Story of the Year. May the rock be with you.
Excellent, Ryan. Welcome to May the Rock be with you, mate. It's a pleasure to talk to you today. First time we've spoken, so always good when we get to do these sorts of things.
Yeah, dude, good to meet you.
Thanks, man. Now, Arson has been out for a week now, or a week here, but what are the feelings like when it's finally out there for people to hear after working on it for so long?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I write so much music. I write when I'm on tour every single day. I write when I'm home. And, I spent like 2 years stockpiling songs for this record. And then you go in the studio and you go through them all and you pick the ones you're going to do and you build them from scratch. And you just like, it's such a process. It's like you invest so much of yourself into it. And then finally, when you get to share it with other people, it's like giving birth to a child. It's just the best feeling. I'm so proud of it. And it's so cool to finally share it with people. It's
Yeah,
a really great feeling. Yeah.
awesome. I absolutely love that. 8 albums in though. So when you go into creating a new album, is there anything you consciously or even actually subconsciously continue to do on a record that you've done on every single album?
Okay. This is going to sound like a really contrived, like bullshit answer, but I stopped thinking about it, man. The more my brain gets involved and the more cerebral I am about like trying to write anything, it just like it doesn't work anymore. So last couple of years, I just sit down and whatever wants to come out, I just let it come out. And it could be the worst song, it could be a slow song, it could be a great song, it could be a fast song, it can be whatever. But dude, I found that anytime I tried to force things or just kind of go in with some kind of plan, it just always results in mediocrity. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's great.
So my plan these days is literally have no plan and just sit down and just let whatever wants to come out or come through me, just kind of let it happen.
Yeah,
And then
no,
when we get in the studio and we're putting on like all the bells and whistles and we're like, once we got the song arrangement and the chord structures and all that stuff and the lyrics nailed down, then there's some fine tuning and stuff. And then you can be a little bit more calculated with things. But the initial writing of the song, it's like, dude, I just let it fly, you know?
yeah, awesome. Now, off the back though of Tear Me to Pieces, you once again worked with Colin Brittain, so as the
Mhm.
producer. What did he help bring to the band this time around after working with him on the previous record that made him the guy to do this album?
Great question. Honestly, the record, I feel like this record is almost kind of a continuation of the last one. I mean, we walked into the studio this time and it felt like the next day. It was like, oh, we're back. And it kind of just felt like an extension of the last record in like the best possible way. And what Colin brought to the table is he grew up listening to Story of the Year, and he was a huge fan. He told us multiple times that one of the reasons he got into music production was because of our first record. So, we were kind of lost, and we hadn't made a record in I think like 5 or 6 years, and the record we made before Colin was it was almost just like a self-produced kind of demo. Um, so yeah, Colin was just like, hey man, I know the story there I want to hear. And I know I know what I want you guys to sound like. And the way to get there is to quit forcing shit and just kind of go back to why you started writing the music in the first place. And it's like, dude, we just no one picks up a guitar when they're a teenager to try to like pay a house payment or keep a career going or anything. You just do it because you love it. And Colin was really crucial in kind of tapping back into that early kind of mindset. And he just, dude, he was like, I would bring in demos and he'd be like, hey, that third chord, don't go there. You're like thinking too hard. Like the story the I grew up listening to wouldn't go to that chord, it'd go to this chord. And it's just like there were things like that all over the place where I was like, damn, this dude's like in my brain.
Yeah,
And
well, and he
yeah,
keeps himself busy too now these days with another band, so he's doing all right.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome though,
That
because
guy,
like there's nothing better than having a fan essentially help you still be who you are, which I think is really cool.
yeah, and to Colin's credit, it's like he's in a huge band now, and on top of producing, he's also a songwriter. And songwriters are in the business of having hits, right? But to Colin's credit, we never talked about on either record, we never talked about having a hit. We never talked about any of that shit. It was just like, let's make a cool song today. All right, let's just make something cool and interesting. And that's like all we talked about. That's it, you know?
Awesome, man. Now, I
Yeah.
always like to ask about one song on the album that jumps out at me. And this time it's is it surprisingly or disappointingly not the Matchbox 20 cover 3 a.m.? I was really wondering when I got to it, is it going to be? It's not though. But can you tell me a bit about that song and how that came about?
Yeah, hold on. Matchbox 20 has a song called 3 a.m.
Yes.
Do they? Oh man, shit. Okay. Sorry, Matchbox 20. That was not intentional. Um, yeah, honestly, that was actually one of the very first songs I wrote for this album. And yeah, I just think that song kind of more than the other ones on the album kind of oh, I'm sorry, my ringer. Let me turn that off. It's kind of the most like emo screamo kind of song on the record, you know, and yeah, it was one of the first ones that I wrote, and then Dan just came in with this verse. The song's about his kids and about missing his kids while he's away on tour, and you know, that resonates with me really, really strong. And yeah, I don't know. That's one of those ones that just kind of like happened, man. Like all the best songs just kind of happen. Like they kind of write themselves, you know?
Yeah, love that song. I thought it really stood out. I was happy with that. So congratulations on a great song.
Thanks. I was a little scared of that one because the riff, I was like the very beginning guitar riff with like the whammy bar. I thought it was almost like distracting, like it was taking away from the song. And I approached Colin about it. I was like, "Hey, I think we should maybe take that riff out because I don't want it to be like flashy. I want it to be about the song, you know." And he basically told me I was crazy, and it's a cool riff. And he's like, "There's no one else in your genre using a whammy bar like that. Like the closest person would be like Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit, you know." So and yeah, he was like, "Dude, this is like your shit. This is what you do. Leave it in there." So that's a cool little anecdote from that song.
Nice, love that. Now, I have to ask about touring. You were due to come and see us. You were supposed to be here now. Actually, plans changed. Is there any plans to come
Yeah.
and see us again soon?
Yeah, that is we love Australia. It's one of our favorite places in the world to play. And yeah, we were pretty bummed, man. Um, for a multitude of reasons, but I mean on the business side of things, we're putting on a record. I mean, we put on a record a couple days ago and we're not on tour. Like we don't have any tours for a couple of months, you know?
Oh, wow.
And because we were planning on being in Australia for the record release and all that. So yeah, that's a bummer, but yeah, we're planning on getting back there on this album cycle for sure.
Okay, excellent. Now, I spoke with Josh in 2024 when you were heading over for the Page Avenue shows. With always having that great relationship with Australia, like you said, how were those celebratory shows for the band?
Are you specifically talking about the Page Avenue tour?
Yeah, that last tour.
Like
Yeah,
how
how
was
were
that?
they?
Oh, dude, yeah, it was awesome because like fans and like people grew up with that record. I talk to people all the time that like, man, I was in middle school and that came out, and you know, I mean, we were just talking about Colin Brittain. Like that record. That's why he started producing music is because of that record, you know. So people have so much nostalgia wrapped up in that album, but so do we, you know. So revisiting all those songs, like some of those songs we hadn't played ever, you know. Um, and revisiting those songs and just kind of, you know, really getting into that mindset of that first record was really nostalgic and really, really cool for us too. It wasn't just for the fans; it was also like awesome for us and really impactful for us, you know, because those songs changed my life, dude. Like until the day I die, literally like changed the trajectory of my life. You know, I don't know what I would be doing if it wasn't for that song. You know, so it's really cool, and we're just all like really grateful. And that tour was special, man.
Awesome. So glad. Now, you've been a part of this band for, well, you've been around, what, almost 30, just over 30 years you've been doing this with the band and 20 odd
Mhm.
years with the albums. But it can be very easy to say what can change over time. But for you, what's the one thing that's always remained the same about Story of the Year?
Okay. Yeah, it is interesting. Like we all have changed in so many different ways as individuals and humans, but I mean, the one thing that's the same is our love for each other. I mean, this sounds super cheesy, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. But like the love for each other and the love for just playing music like some like the same as we were teenagers, man. Like I'm a profoundly lucky dude. I've been playing music with the same group of guys since I was in high school, you know, and middle school even. Dan and I started playing when he was 14 and I was 15, and we're still playing. So, um, the original four, like we are the original four that started this band in high school, and we're still together, and that hasn't changed and will never change, you know. And yeah, dude, like I think like even if you don't like Story of the Year, if you're around us for 2 minutes, you'll be like, oh yeah, those guys like love what they do. They love music. They love being around each other. You know, we're like family at this point, you know. So I
Awesome.
hope that answers your question. I
It
don't
does.
know.
No, and I love a lot of that time. I'd ask that question to a lot of people. And when it is a certain group of people that have been together for a long time, that's always generally the answer. And I love that because it's
Yeah,
that camaraderie, that friendship that just keeps it going. So it's
yeah.
good stuff. Now, I do like to ask a corny question when I can, and this one really works with you. So, Ryan, if you had one, yeah, what was your
I'm corny,
best,
so yeah.
yeah, yeah, what was your best story of the year for 2025?
2025. Let me think here. My best story of the year. Um, hmm. As it relates to the band, well, there's some stuff in my personal life I shouldn't talk about. Yeah. Um, dude, honestly, that tour we did with Senses Fail, where we, you know, that I'm just gonna say that tour in general because playing like bands that have been around as long as we have, right? Typically, people want to hear like your first record and they want to hear like the big hit, right? Or if you're lucky enough to have a hit, you know, if you're fortunate enough. That tour, people were more excited about like the record, the songs off Tear Me to Pieces, and we had dropped Gasoline at that point, so we'd been playing Gasoline. So to hear fans reacting to like our new, like this new chapter in our band, just as much, if not more, as to some of those older songs, like that for what I do, from where I'm sitting, that is such a huge win and something that's like actually pretty rare amongst my peers, and we talk about it a lot. It's like it's hard to get people that to care about something new when they grew up with a record like Page Avenue, you know? So to me, that's like that right there is like the biggest win of 2025, and like to me, like the thing I'm most proud of as it relates to our career right now, you know?
Excellent. Perfect answer.
Yeah.
Now, I like to do this one too because you've got a catalog that's pretty vast now. Is there a song from your entire catalog that's a real favorite of yours that you feel doesn't get enough love that you'd love people to check out?
Yeah, it's called Praying for Rain. It's off a record called Wolves. And it's one of my favorite songs we've ever written, ever. I love to play it. I love everything about that song, but it's like 7 minutes long. And when we play it, people look like they're about to fall asleep. And I'm sitting here like just in heaven, rocking out, playing these like big riffs and this spacey. Like I love like a lot of like ethereal, spacey kind of stuff. And I don't know, I'm just like in heaven playing it, and I look out and a lot of people are just like kind of, oh. So yeah, I wish that track got more love. Yeah.
I'll check that one out afterwards. Now, is there something you'd love to do as a band that you still haven't had the chance to do that you'd love to do?
Oh, great question. Great question. Dude, I don't know. That's hard to answer because all I ever wanted to do was just play music, and like my highest aspiration coming up was just like if we could only play the Warp Tour one day, you know, that was like as lofty as our goals ever got. It's like, man, if we could just play Warp Tour once. And we've so far surpassed that. Like I've done more with this band than I ever thought possible. Um, huh, huh. Oh, I would like to collaborate with Chino from the Deftones. That's what I would like to do.
Cool.
I would
Manifest.
like to
Work
have
on this.
him. Yeah, I'd like to do something with him, even if it's outside of Story of the Year, just like a song, you know?
Okay. Other side of that, though, outside of the band, what keeps you busy? What are you busy with?
Dude, when I'm off tour, I'm ultimate dad mode. Like,
Cool.
dude, I fucking love it so much. It's the best shit in the entire world. No, dude, I have like whatever form of whatever's going on in my brain. Like, I've never been bored. When people are like, "Oh, I'm bored," blah blah, it's like I have no concept of that. I have a never-ending list of things I want to do and accomplish, and I'm when we're not on tour, I'm riding bikes, road bikes, mountain bikes. I'm building shit. I'm rock climbing, um, fly fishing, just working on building. I just love to be busy and active, and make things. And I write music year round. You'll never just see me like sitting on a couch watching a TV show.
Cool. Well, that'd be weird if
Yeah.
I did, because I'd probably be at your place and I know what's going on there. So maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I love being on tour and I love my band, but man, I love being home here, like and just doing the dad, like living that like dad life, man. It's the best.
Awesome stuff. Now, lastly, what I do with everyone, let's jump ahead to the future with a prediction. Finish this sentence for me. By the end of 2026, story of the year will.
Be 20% bigger than we were at the beginning of 2026. That's my goal.
Love that. That's awesome.
Like, yeah, I just want to keep growing. I don't need to be rich. I don't need a mansion, but if I can just keep doing this, if I can just keep doing this, then I'll feel like I've won the universe. And to keep doing this, we need to get just a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. You know?
We'll make it happen. Ryan, thanks for your time, man.
Sweet.
Absolute pleasure to talk to you.
Dude, thank you. I
No worries
appreciate
at
it,
all.
man.
Congrats on the great record, and I hope to see you in Sydney soon.
Hell yeah. Thanks, man.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you for watching our interview with Ryan from Story of the Year. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and make sure you check out maytherrockbewithyou.com for everything else.